Hello, lovely people of the world. Today we'll be talking about where Justin and I originally came from.
And how a guy like me ended up with a girl like her.
So, yeah, I'll let Justin go first.
I was born in South Korea. I lived in Korea until I was 9 years old,
Mhm.
at which point my mom, dad, and my sister and myself moved to Canada. My dad wanted to immigrate the whole family to a English-speaking country. So he applied for immigration in New Zealand, Australia, and Guatemala,
Wow.
and Canada.
Random.
And
Okay.
Canada responded, so we packed up our stuff and moved to Canada. At that time, I didn't even know what Canada was. I thought Korea was the only country in the world.
Neither have I. I mean,
I was 9.
yeah, I mean, I didn't think that Canada was the only country, but I never heard that Canada was an entity or a country of its own. I've only heard of like the United States and whatnot. So, yeah, thank goodness we're in Canada now. What? You don't mention your degree. You don't mention
Do I
that you
have
work
to?
as this one
I
now.
went to school and I got a degree in computer science, and now I work as a computer software developer.
Yay, so much energy. Here we go. So, I was born and raised in the United Arab Emirates, more commonly known to the world as Dubai, I guess, to a Sudanese father and a Filipino mom. I'm the oldest of three siblings. You forgot to mention that. I'm the oldest of three siblings. So we grew up in Dubai all the way up until high school. And then we had my sister and I had migrated to the Philippines to take up our nursing degree. Graduated with a nursing degree, became a registered nurse over there. And then I don't know if I mentioned, my parents got divorced when we were 12, when I was 12. So my mom, when my sister and I had migrated to the Philippines for college, my mother decided to take a chance and start a new life for herself and for us in Canada. So she had migrated to Canada. Um, there's a little bit of a backstory there that I'd like to share because so she had after the divorce, she had decided to apply for a visa in about three countries, I believe. Canada being one of them, the US, maybe four, Australia, and Austria. Not sure why. She fell in love with Austria when she had gone there for a vacation one time. So yeah, she said that she's going to wing it and just figure out whatever country gives her the visa first gets to be the country that she decides to call her new home. So then she got her visa. I mean, she heard back from Canada first, thank goodness, and then migrated to Canada. If that hadn't been the case, I would not have met this handsome young man over here. So I'm so happy that our lives' paths have crossed in Canada. So when my sister and I had first arrived in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, that was the 26th of August 2009 when we landed here. We were so excited. We got started on the whole bridging process to become a nurse here because apparently here in Canada they require nursing professionals to undergo a standardized training or bridging program in order to become nurses or in order to be deemed nurses in here in Canada. So we had initially moved here and couldn't find work anywhere in Canada in the healthcare system because apparently they're looking for some Canadian work experience, which we didn't have, of course, at the time we just arrived. So, in order to gain some Canadian work experience, we started off working at the malls. I mean, don't get me wrong, we tried everywhere. We were not picky at all. We tried to apply at like Walmart and anywhere really, fast food places, malls, but for some reason it was very hard because almost every one of them were looking for Canadian work experience. Well, how are we going to get Canadian work experience if they're not going to give us any work to gain experience from, you know? So, yeah, it was a little frustrating for us, but we knew we had to start somewhere. Thankfully, we had been hired by nice, kind-hearted bosses at the mall. So we started working in retail just to gain that Canadian work experience. We finally got a few months into it, I think about 9 months into it, before we started hearing back from the healthcare system. We got hired to work as healthcare aides in the meantime because they would not recognize our nursing degree, our Filipino nursing degree here in Canada initially. We would have to go through that whole bridging system or process. So yeah, worked at the mall and can't remember what happened. Oh, got hired at a senior's residence in downtown Calgary, and then I think simultaneously at some point I got hired as a healthcare aide at a hospital as well. So yeah, had to try to find my niche, and thankfully that's where my career took off. I basically found my niche and found a passion in working with older adults, as we like to call them. How we met?
Right, I didn't start dating until I was about 25.
No, because were you being practical? You had to be financially stable enough because you knew that relationships would take a lot of work,
Yeah,
a lot of your time,
exactly.
and a lot of
That's
money.
right. Yeah, a lot of money. So we were on this site called the Plenty of Fish, also known as POF.
Plenty of fish. POF.
That's what I said. So I was basically spamming everyone that I could find.
So honest.
Well, if I were to write a personalized message, most cases it doesn't get a response. So I thought I could have better luck if I just spam everyone and see who responds. So my pickup line was,
Wait for it.
I think I know you. Aren't you my wife? What are you doing here?
So I got this message on Plenty of Fish on my online account from a guy by the name of, I forget, I'm not gonna mention it. But yeah, he basically said, hey, wait a minute, I think I know you. Or not even I think, hey, wait a minute, I know you. That's it. That was his initial message to me. Of course, I panicked. I was like, oh no, somebody recognized me on here. Oh, this is going to be so embarrassing. So I said, really? As my response. And then that's when he said,
I think you're forgetting how you went.
it went that way.
No, I went,
Okay, fine.
I put all three in one sentence, in one message.
No, honey, because I remember panicking. I was like,
Yeah,
before you responded.
you read the first line and then you panicked and then you read the second line of the message and that reassured you that I was just kidding.
I don't know how I read it, but I remember good.
Yeah, and then you read the second line.
Okay, he's gonna edit that out. But of course, I was super naive back in those days, and so when I got a message that he thought he knew me and that he thought that I was his wife and what on earth am I doing still on that site, I found it super adorable. I know some of you might go like, cheesy, somebody take me out of here now. But yeah, I fell in love with that message. I thought he had such a great sense of humor, and I actually fell for that pickup line. I thought it was unique and cute. As you can tell, haven't had any dating experience prior to him.
After we started sending messages back and forth online, we were doing this for about a month, and then I asked her if she wanted to meet me for coffee. And then she said she wants to get to know me a little better online before we meet. So I agreed, and we continued on exchanging messages.
For how many months?
I don't know.
A month or two? A month or two.
A month or two. And then all of a sudden she stopped sending me messages.
Come December of that
In
year.
December.
Oh, this was in November 2011?
Right, we started talking online in November and then she disappeared in December. So I assumed that she maybe found somebody, or maybe even she got back together with her ex, so she didn't need it to be on the dating site anymore. And then either in January or early February, I saw her again on that site, so I sent her a message and say, hey, what did I say?
Hey, you're
You're
back.
back.
I thought that you might have found somebody already and
And
went
moved
on your
on.
merry way. Yes, basically. I was surprised they still remembered me after that. There's a backstory as to why I disappeared for a month. Should I share that?
Yeah, go ahead, tell the story.
So I had disappeared for a month because my birthday was in December. My brother's birthday was in December. My dad's birthday was in December as well. My dad still lives in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. So we had planned and booked a flight to celebrate all our birthdays there during the month of December, at least for 3 to 4 weeks in December. I didn't feel the need to let him know for some reason because we were still getting, just in my opinion, we were still just getting to know each other. We haven't officially met in person at the time. So I felt that, well, he's probably busy contacting other girls anyway, but I enjoyed my conversation with him and I thought that he was really funny and really adorable. Didn't feel the need to tell him where I was going because he wasn't my boyfriend or anything like that at the time. I just flew off. And so when I came back, I was surprised to find out that he still remembered me. Who does that? I mean, there's so many other women out there. I didn't think that any of the guys who had contacted me during 2011 would remember me in 2012 almost instantly. As soon as I had logged back in, when was this?
January 2012.
January 2012. As soon as I logged back in, he messaged me and said, "Hey, you're back." So I found that really flattering, and I felt that he must be someone really special and someone worth giving a chance to go out for coffee. I mean, he remembered me, so yay.
I asked her out on a coffee date at a coffee shop called Second Cup?
He always gets this wrong.
Good Earth?
Yes, Good Earth. Wow.
They both have the same color scheme.
Sure.
So we met at a coffee shop and then we talked all night.
Oh yeah, our first date was on February 26th of 2012. We need you to remember that date, or maybe not. I'm just sharing with you guys that to us that date was one of the most important dates ever. We had celebrated our anniversary as a couple every year on February 26th. The reason I had waited to meet him in person was because I wanted to wait until I got to know him a little bit better before meeting him. Because, I mean, during that time, there was still a stigma around online dating. There's a lot of horror stories that we've heard of how the strangers, I mean, going on a date with strangers sometimes may not work out as well or might not end up as good as initially planned. So it took me a while. Even though I was super naive at the time, I was also very cautious. None of my friends mm, were on were dating online. Almost all my friends had met their significant other through friends, through word of mouth, through school, or yeah, same circle of friends and whatnot. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned for our next video. We will be posting more details on how our first date went, how our second date went, and our third date as well. Stay tuned.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.